When I was going to school to become a therapist, I actually took a break while I was in my program and got into sales and got into marketing and learned a lot. I did that for about 7 years before I went back to finish up my degree in clinical mental health counseling. And so when I went back, my lens was very different. And it's common knowledge that therapists are not very good at marketing. And I started to see not only that they weren't very good at it, but they were actually really bad at it. And that was a conversation I started having with my mentors. And it was actually kind of a concern of mine because when I actually got into working in a clinic setting as a therapist, I started to feel very limited, no having a lot of the knowledge that I had. Now, this was before 2020, so when I say this is going to sound kind of crazy, but so I remember having a conversation with my mentors and my supervisors at the time, and telling them that I wanted to start seeing clients via Zoom. And at the time, people were like, "Matt, that is absolutely crazy. You're going to commit career suicide. No one, and people want to see their therapist in person."
Yep.
And like I said, but this was before 2020. You're gonna commit career suicide, and you're gonna, every negative thing that you could probably think of at the time. You're not going to be able to take insurance was an issue as well. And I said, well, if that's the case, then I'm just gonna have to roll the dice. And so I started Matt Pfeiffer Coaching and went with it and started to create content and started to network and started to market on social media, started to network a bit, created my own podcast, and things started to really take off. And then 2020 hit, and then everyone was looking for someone to meet with online and via Zoom. And so what happened is that I actually ended up being ahead of the curve once 2020 actually hit, and everyone was scrambling trying to figure out who they're going to meet with. Um, and so so but on the flip side, when we talk about this Derek Jackson video that I just put out, and some of those type of things, and what you mentioned in terms of cult-like behavior, I also, with my background in therapy, have also noticed that there's also a lot of coaches, a lot of creators who are using a lot of these strategies to be very manipulative towards an audience.
Right.
They're able to use their charisma. There's on one hand, there's nothing wrong with charisma. I think it's important to show personality, but on the other hand, it most definitely can be weaponized, and those are some things that I definitely saw Derek and a lot of other coaches and creators do, making it seem like they're the only solution, making it seem as though, like you said, that it's in his situation it's all men's problem, but there's certainly coaches that make it seem like it's all women's problem. Women are all the problem, and and creating divisive situations. And outrage always is one of the best marketing tools, but they've been able to use it in a negative way, to be as more of a manipulative tactic than a strategy to get people to certain goals and certain levels that they need to in their business.
Yeah. So the there are some positive, or at least some beneficial elements of kind of the cult aspect. And for any of my viewers and listeners, I definitely recommend that you go do your own research about this stuff, because um the recipe that makes up a cult is also the recipe that makes up a lot of groups that we love to be a part of, right? And so how do marketing professionals, coaches, and anyone that wants to, build a community. We say community because it's a positive word, but really, if we think about it, the elements of a great community are the same elements of a cult. So how do we balance those two to use the same elements that help build these groups that maybe we're fearful of, but in a positive way?
With the cult like following, where they're actually where it's actually problematic, is that oftentimes they will make it seem like they're the end all be all. They'll make it seem as though you'll notice that they don't show any vulnerability. You'll see that they don't show any weakness, even to a point where if someone points it out that those people will be attacked. So one of the things that happens whenever I do videos like what I did with Derek is that oftentimes his cult like following will start to attack, whether it's in my inboxes, whether it's in my comment section. I did another video on another problematic coach a couple of days ago, and all throughout my comment section, you're a dusty, you're just broke. If you're broke, just say that, all this kind of
Yep.
stuff. And so you see that like their insecurities truly come out. Whereas someone who is actually doing it in the best interest of their clients and that sort of thing, they'll be able to actually articulate and tell you who they work with, like who they work with best, and they can actually describe to you where they actually might be weak, and they're actually very self-aware at the fact of whether it be their shortcomings, whether it be like people that they kind of struggle with. For example, I don't take clients anymore, but one of the things I told people, because I worked with a lot of people who were in toxic relationships, I don't work well with people who are still in it.